A number of years ago now, my daughter was involved in an acting camp. And I recall the closing activity they presented for family and friends. They entertained us by demonstrating a few of the exercises that they had learned to develop themselves as actors. The one that stuck out in my mind was one that was called the emotional party. In this particular exercise, one person played the host, and the rest of the people came into the room one at a time. And as each guest entered the room, whatever mood they displayed, suddenly the whole room took on that particular mood. So, for example, if a person came in sad, the whole room got sad. If a person came in happy, the whole room got happy. If they came in acting silly, the whole room got silly, and so on and so forth. I think you get the picture. And it provided us with a lot of laughs, and it was really, really fun, and I enjoyed that particular exercise. Now, while the emotional party might be a good way to hone acting skills, it's not such a great way to conduct your life. Yet many people do just that. How often do you find yourself changing your mood because of those around you? You may find that somebody is in a sour mood, and because of that, suddenly your mood becomes sour. They're not having a good day, and all of a sudden it affects you, and you find yourself having an equally bad day as well. Or they might slide down that slippery slope of hopelessness, and you allow them to take you with them. Allowing the moods and emotions of others to change yours doesn't happen just on the interpersonal level, but it also can happen on a much larger scale. You watch the news and you hear about all of the murders, the tragedies, the scandals, the negative situations, what's happening on the political scene, what's happening with the politicians and the courts and then the corporations and everything else. And then you start to become fearful, depressed, frightened, discouraged, hopeless over what is reported. Studies have shown that even in periods where crime has decreased, the perception of people very often has increased. The overall perception of crime has increased, even though the actual statistics and numbers tell us that it has decreased. And in many cases, what we find is that those that are least likely to become victims of crime are also the ones who oftentimes feel themselves to be most at risk. And why is this so? Because they are the ones who spend all of their time watching the media, that 24-hour news cycle that is reporting one thing after another, and they get so caught up in that, and that becomes their daily diet, and they're fed that, and so they become fearful and frightened and think that they're going to be victims of crime, and so they fortify themselves in their homes, and they're always constantly looking or suspecting other people or looking at places like that. They become hosts of an emotional party for the media that maintains the if it bleeds, it leads mentality. Einstein reminded us that no problem is solved from the same consciousness that created it. So I think that it's important for us to remember a few things. First, there are indeed outside events that we may not be able to control. But we can shift those things inside of us. Yes, you do have a choice. Because after all, you are the host. And you decide what you let into your consciousness. You can decide that you're not going to let those kinds of things that are being broadcast all the time and talked about and all of those things to be living in your mind rent-free. You can decide that you have know that you have a choice to not live your life in an emotional party where it's determined by things that are external, but deciding that you're going to make a choice to allow your internal influence to be the most powerful thing because you are the host. So there's some things you do. You begin each day with positive things. Focus on the day and the ideas and relationships that contribute to your well-being. things that you want to see happen in your life, things that you would like to have unfold for you, and devote your attention, devote your time to those things. Make a gratitude list. Start saying for yourself, even before you get out of bed, the things that you're grateful for. As a matter of fact, I like to do it the night before. When I'm going to sleep, right before I go to sleep, I come up with 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for that particular day. And then when I wake up in the morning, I come up with several other things that I'm grateful and thankful for before I even get my day started. I'm telling myself all the time how wonderful and how powerful things are, that this is a day, and I like to use this phrase all the time, that is filled with promise, potential, possibility, and opportunity. It's a way for each of us to host an emotional party that is beneficial and that provides for our well-being rather than takes away from us. I think it's important for us to recognize and to realize that you do, in fact, have a choice. So I'm leaving my parting words with you. Enjoy your life. Take the positive steps for the things that you can do to make the difference, because indeed, this is your life. This is your party. And you can do the things that you wish to do to make it the best party and the best day possible. Peace and blessings. Ashe, namaste, and so it is.